So I guess that's that. All right, moving on. Resolution 62, resolution adopting the non-bargaining personnel policy for elected officials. Sponsors were Quackenbush and Diamond. I move it to the floor for discussion. Tom.
Just for, I guess we would call it transparency purposes, I'm going to be voting on this resolution tonight, but as I've stated before many times, I abstain whenever I see the word coroner, but I feel that the vote tonight is not about necessarily my spouse's employment as a coroner, because this is about the next term. So I feel comfortable, and I've spoken to Megan about it, so I'm going to be supporting it tonight. But I just, if a resolution comes up later for local law, when we have to do that for all those positions, I obviously would abstain.
Okay, thank you. Ryan?
I just wanted to provide, it took a little time, and the data we discussed last week, just plotted it out a little so that you could see, in a graphical way, the lack of correlation between, there's been this notion, I think, tossed around a lot, that the executive should be paid based upon a county's size or on the county's wealth, whether it's poor, rich, small, or big. And there's very little of a correlation that you can abstract, I think, from this data. But again, would stress the point that the next, and I'm going to say the next smallest county and the next poorest county in relation to us is Chemung County in terms of the 18 executive counties, and they pay their executive at a rate of $140,000 a year. I also just, to make a informed decision and have the data out there, while it's comparing apples to bananas and oranges at the same time, in Fulton County, which I think is a very similar setting to ours in terms of population, wealth, etc. As we know, they don't have an executive, but our executive responsibilities here are really divided up amongst an administrative aide and chairman of the Board of Supervisors there. And I just point out that those two positions combined are roughly $105,000. So when we're discussing $110,000, it's just about equal to what Fulton County is paying for those same duties and responsibilities. And thought that was a interesting piece of information. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Ryan. Anyone else? Bob?
Could I ask this later? Can you extrapolate further on Fulton County what they're paying?
So, I said, if I may, Chair.
Yes, sure.
As I stated, it's nowhere close to comparing equal. An executive does different things than an administrator, than a manager, than a chairman, and I apologize, clerk to the Board of Supervisors / administrative aide, I believe is the title in Fulton County. But basically, in our form of government, with an executive, we have consolidated our head of government and our head of state. The head of state being the figurehead, the queen, if you will, the king, if you will, and the head of government being the prime minister, the administrator, the manager. And we've consolidated that into one position, like governor, like president. Where in Fulton County, those duties are still separate, the chairman being the head of state and the administrative aide being the head of government. So basically my theory in that is looking at both of those positions, salaries in Fulton County, combining those, and it yields a combined total base salary of around $105,000 to, in theory, conduct the same duties and tasks that our executive in one position conducts. So just something where, we can look at a lot of data here ranging from $85,000 to $187,000 a year, but I think it is to me pertinent and striking that a county so close to us
buckets that we wanted to. We took away the longevity, and I think we're on the right path. So I will vote in favor of this. Anyone else? Huh?
Appreciate the comments, but Nicole, Megan together,
Right.
helping out with this, played a big part in
Right.
understanding what our mission was in regards to the buckets of longevity, making this consolidated,
Right.
easy. So,
Okay.
give credit where credit's due.
Okay. Duly noted. Okay, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Yes. Abstain?
Pass.
Okay, going on. Resolution 63, resolution authorizing the county executive to extend the grant contract Help America Vote Act, HAVA, Board of Elections, sponsors Kelly and Quackenbush. Bring it to the floor for discussion. Hearing none, I'll call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Abstain?
Pass.
Okay, very good. Going on to 64, Resolution 64. Resolution confirming members, Montgomery County Criminal Justice Coordinating Council, Youth Alternatives to Incarceration and Veterans Service. Sponsors were Kelly and Quackenbush. Bring it to the floor for discussion. Everybody should have the names. Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Abstain?
Pass.
Resolution 65, resolution in support of base aid increase for Fulton Montgomery Community College, County Legislature. Wheeler and Whites were the sponsors. Bring it to the floor for discussion. Hearing none, I'll call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain? Against? Abstain, sorry.
Pass.
Long night. Resolution 66. Resolution amending the resolution amending Resolution 5 of 2015 and adopting new rules of procedure, County Legislature. Sponsors were Wheeler and Diamond. Move it to the floor for discussion. Ryan?
I'm going to keep it quick, but I just want to say my piece. You know, I think we've discussed this at length over the past 2 years plus. You know, I think for a body of 9 people to have standing committees is, it's just not needed. Generally we all participate in discussion. There has been a lot of confusion over the last year and a half on who can do what. There still is, and I think given a body of this size, you know, there's always a need for special committees, but I think the need for standing committees is not there.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. Anyone else? Bob?
I just want to thank the rest of the legislators for putting the work into this. I know that it wasn't always comfortable decisions. We had disagreements, but we worked through everything, kept our decorum, and appreciate that.
Yes. I've done this before, but we do need to recognize Ryan's
go power.
I stand corrected. There is not.
So that would take effect, but what about his question about Cheryl?
Yeah, what
Or-
about that question?
Oh.
Don't worry. It always comes down to me.
So okay, so can I call a vote? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Against?
Nay.
Ryan?
Yes,
Yes?
yes, I was gonna make a comment after.
Oh, okay. And abstain? Okay,
Pass.
pass. Yes,
I mean,
Anna?
out of fairness to the chairman, you know, you got a committee meetings that are gonna come up in the next.
Oh, sure.
I think we ought to give them a month to try to get it. I mean, I don't think anybody here's gonna hold you to it if you take a little bit. We need to do this one more month.
I'm sure I can get it done by next week.
I know you're,
Our
Yeah.
next committee will be April 12th.
You still got the hat with all the names in it, so it should be.
that's right.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a good night. We got a lot of business done, and I thank you very much.